and welcome to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. I am your host, Joyce Williams. Thank you so much for taking out the time to join me tonight. I'm going to give you a minute to grab your snacks, grab your friends, grab a notepad, because you might want to take some notes for this episode. So hurry back. We're going to have a brief, short break, and I want you to sit right here with me and don't miss a thing. Why? Because this show is your show, The Invisible Woman Talk Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to The Invisible Woman with your host, me, Joyce Williams, on The Invisible Woman Talk Show. All right, so when I was younger, I used to listen to, some music like everybody else. I still listen to music too, but this particular group was called New Edition, okay? And New Edition, they had this song called If It Isn't Love. And I'm not going to sing it for you guys, so, don't want to ruin it. But the words were like, if it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Why does, she stay on my mind? If it isn't love, why does it hurt so bad? Okay, I got to sing it. Why does it hurt so bad? Makes me feel so sad inside. Okay, so anyway. And so you're wondering to yourself, you know what? You may be, even now at your age, we were younger then, but even now as an adult, you might be wondering, well, is it really love that I'm feeling? What is it if it isn't love? Well, you know what? It may be a case of attachment. Yes. So we're going to go over the definitions, the differences between love and attachments. Tonight's episode is titled, If It Isn't Love. Okay. No. I'm starting early with the shenanigans. All right. Okay. But tonight's episode is titled, If It Isn't Love. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. You know what I'm about to do. Listen to this jam, right? Yeah. All right. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the difference between love and attachment. And you're saying, well, you know what? I met someone and I just have this sense of I love them. I think I'm in love. I'm falling in love. I really don't know. But let me tell you, there are some distinct differences between love and attachment. Now, when you form an attachment to someone, it's not healthy. It's unhealthy. Because first of all, let's talk about self-worth. You want to make sure that you yourself are happy within yourself and you're not using anybody to fill a void. Because if you're using somebody to fill a void, when that relationship ends, then now you still have that void. That void is still there. You're using it and using another person to fill that void. And so when a relationship is over, guess what? The hole is still there. You're still unhappy. So let's not use someone else to fill our void to make us happy. That's very unhealthy. When you feel nervous when you're not with your partner because you don't trust them, that's not love. That's attachment. That means because love is I trust you. Love is I am in a commitment to you. So you don't have to watch that person all the time to make sure that they are doing, they are maintaining their vows, they are maintaining their commitment. That's not love. That is attachment. If you feel like you constantly have to keep an eye on that person. If you can't get in contact with your partner, you go to drastic measures to try to attempt to contact them. It's kind of like you reach out to them via email, Facebook, even Cash App. I've seen it. I'm telling you. It's just that you're so desperate to connect with them because why? You feel disconnected because you are attached. It's difference between love and attachment. You get upset when you're not with them. You get nervous when you're not with them. And when you love somebody, love is freedom. Love is trust. Love is understanding. So that is a sign of attachment. Another sign of attachment is when your partner dictates your mood. So just say, for instance, you get into a fight. Of course, partners fight all the time. Couples fight all the time. But when you're attached to another individual on an unhealthy level, then how they treat you, it's going to dictate your whole day, your whole mood. So like, Say for instance, if that person ignores you, then when you may respond like you got a negative attitude, you're nasty, you're crying, you are just really upset, you're beside yourself because I haven't had any contact with them. Far as it can be toxic. It can be toxic. And this is a sign of attachment, and it's dangerous aspect of the relationship. Now, like I said, I understand that, when you love somebody, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to them today. But that's different from, oh my gosh, my life is over, I haven't talked to them today. What are they doing? They must be with somebody else. They got to be cheating. They got to be up to no good. They're not being faithful. Your mind goes immediately to all the negative things when you are attached. But when you love somebody, you give them that trust. Oh, I haven't heard from them for a minute. They might be busy at work. They might be seeing their parents. You think of the positive things that they're doing because you know that person, because you love that person. So you don't automatically go to negative, oh, they're doing something to, ruin our relationship. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about, is it love? If it isn't love, the differences between love and attachment. Now, love is giving. Love is, you guys are taking care of each other. You're not keeping score. Oh, I did this for you, so now you have to do this for me. You don't have to one-up me. That's love. But when you have an attachment is selfish. An attachment is a selfish thing that is kind of like, you have to do this for me. What can I get from you? What are you doing for me? What have you done for me lately? It's an attachment is selfish, and that person is staying in a relationship because you're getting something from that person. If they stop giving you the attention that you crave, if they stop showering you with gifts, if they stop calling you, if they stop doing whatever it is that they are doing to validate you, to make you feel good and boost your self-esteem, if they stop doing that, then guess what? It's over. It's over. And then it's going to cause problems because now you're not getting what you wanted from this person. It's an attachment. It's not true love. You're forcing a relationship with someone, and they are, you start to hold resentment because now they're stuck in a relationship. You're stuck in a relationship. They're stuck in a relationship that no one really wants to be in. You ever seen those people that two people, they form a bond because they have something in common? You meet somebody and they need a car and you have a car. So now it's all of a sudden you guys get together and, oh my gosh, we're feeling each other. Things are going good. That's because that person needs you for transportation. You're driving them around, getting them where they need to go. That's all cool. Your car breaks down. Relationships going south real fast because guess what? Now you don't have what I need. Now you don't have anything I need. It's an attachment. It's not love. It's toxic. And what'll happen is, like I said, you have to decide if you have to be with this person or do I get to be with this person? Because if I have to be with this person, that's attachment. I get to be with this person. Oh my gosh, I love them so much and I get to be with them. I get to be with you. You get to be with me. We're in love. It's a difference. When you're I don't want to tell anybody that, oh, you're not in love because you just met 3 days ago and now you're smitten and you just think you're in love. I'm not telling you you're not. I'm just telling you to look for the signs between love and attachment because it could be an attachment issue. It could be that, like I said, you're with this person out of necessity, out of what can they do for me? Or they may be with you out of what can you do for me versus it's a privilege for us to, for me to be with you. That's all I'm saying. So just kind of reevaluate, that situation that you're in currently or a situation that you may be going into. Just look at it as, what is it that is causing me to feel this way? What is it that they're doing that's making me feel like I'm in love? Am I truly in love? Or am I forming an attachment or a bond with this person, something that's toxic and unhealthy? We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the differences between love and attachment. So you're in love. All right, that's what you think. That's how you feel. Your heart told you, your mind told you. You said, I'm in love. And so the relationship goes south. Now, what happens? How do you feel? Do you feel like, you know what? Well, on to the next one. Then guess what? You weren't really in love. Because if you went on to the next one, I'm talking about quick, fast, and in a hurry, then yeah, you weren't in love. Because love, it takes time to get over when you truly love somebody. You're constantly thinking about them. You're sad. It's different now. It's not when you have that attachment. You may be sad because that person's not around anymore. You thought they were special. They're not around anymore, so you're a little bit sad. But like I said, you get over them so quickly because it was just an attachment. It was just a what can you do for me situation. And so now that they're not there anymore, you got to find somebody else to do that, whatever that they were doing. When you're in love, it's like, man, oh my gosh, I really, really cared about this person. And now what? Your heart hurts. You were in love. Love is not changing anybody either. And when you love somebody, you're not trying to change them. I mean, you want better for them, but you accept them for who they are. And you don't try to manipulate them. You don't try to, like I said, you're not trying to blackmail them. You just accept them. And you guys grow together. You're better together versus I'm attached to you. So guess what? You got to dress the way I tell you to dress. You got to do this. You got to sound the way I tell you to sound. You got to dance to my music. It's different. I'm telling you. Vulnerabilities are different. Decision making is different. Everything is different between love and attachment. Because when you love somebody, you care about their thoughts. You care about how your decision affects them. You consider them. But when it's an attachment, I don't care about you. It don't even matter because you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do me. I'm going to do whatever it is that makes me happy. And you're going to either get on board or you're going to shape up or ship out. It's different. But like I said, when you love somebody, you're understanding, you're compromising, you want to work things out. That's how it goes. That's the way love goes. You try to find some middle ground when it's true love. But like I said, if it's just an attachment, you're like, on to the next one, baby, because you're not cutting it. It's just point blank simple like that. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. My name is Joyce Williams, and I'm the host of the Invisible Woman Talk Show. Life doesn't always give you flowers. That's why you should tune in to the Invisible Woman Talk Show. It'll help empower you to find your inner strength to bring out the beauty in you. JWInvisibleWoman.com, the Invisible Woman Talk Show. Welcome back to the Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the difference between love and attachment. And love stands the test of time and distance. When you are away from somebody that you love, even that distance doesn't dampen the love. You guys still hold on strong. You're going strong. Y'all still together? Oh my gosh, you thousands of miles away. But you got them in your heart. You're always thinking about them. Everything that you do, like I said, you guys are still able to stay strong. And I'm not saying it's easy, but you're willing to weather that storm and make it work because why? You love each other. But when it's an attachment, as soon as the calls slack up or when the text or the gifts stop coming, it's not going to be enough. It's never enough to fill that void because it was just an attachment. It was an attachment to them because they were, what they say, out of sight, out of mind. So when they're out of sight and out of mind, there's no love lost because it was just an attachment. But when you love somebody, oh my gosh, there is no out of sight, out of mind because they're never out of your mind. They're always on your mind. You can see something that reminds you of them, and now you're thinking about them again. You can see, like I said, hear a song. Oh my gosh, they're playing our song. It's different. It's very different. Love empowers you, but attachment makes you feel powerless. Because, real love gives you the power to feel like you can do anything. When you're in a healthy relationship, they support you, they believe in you, and you feel like you can accomplish whatever it is, anything. They encourage you. Real love encourages you to stand up and to stand against tough situations, even when you think you can't. But they become your rock, they become your strength, they are your backbone. When you have an attachment, you feel powerless. You feel like you can't do anything without them. And when they hurt you, you feel like you never mattered. And the thoughts of not being good enough take over your mind. I wasn't good enough. What did I do wrong? Why did they not want to be with me? You start looking at yourself and having that self-doubt. But like I said in the beginning, if you have that self-worth, if you're not looking at that person to fill that void, then when they leave, then they can't take your happiness with them because they didn't bring you the happiness. When you're in love, they contribute to your happiness. When you're in attachment, they give you your happiness. Don't allow anyone to give you your happiness, and that way they can't just take it away. Make sure that you create your own happiness. You stand on your own and create your own sense of self-worth. You value yourself. You love yourself. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We're talking about if it isn't love, the difference between love and attachment. An attachment makes you hungry for attention. When you text them, they need to respond back to you immediately. Because if they don't, it's a problem. You're angry, you're upset. When you call them, they need to answer the phone, or guess what? They need to call you right back. And if they don't, then it's a problem. Like I said, they're upset. That's an attachment. They are selfish and they are needy. They are clingy. They need that attention. In fact, when you get love, you get all the happiness you deserve. When you are in love, you don't have to worry about them getting upset when you don't respond immediately. Like I said, because they understand that she may be busy. They're doing something else. They're going to get right back to me. They're not worried about if you're out, like I said, ruining the relationship. Like I said, because attachment can never fulfill the expectations. It's going to lead to frustration. It's going to lead to anger. It's easy to love somebody. It's very easy to love somebody. And if you find that it's very difficult loving that person, then you may not be in love. You may be in attachment. When you're in an attachment, somebody's keeping score. There's always a scorekeeper. They're reminding you of, well, I gave you this, so now you have to give me bigger. You have to go bigger and better, and it's because it is an attachment. They are not in love with you, but they're in love with what you're doing for them, what you can do for them. So you have to be careful of the expectations in returns. You don't fit their expectations, that attachment quickly dies, and there you are again. Another one bites the dust. When you are attached to someone, you don't feel the need to prioritize that person. You don't feel the need to include them in special events or even to share like important things with them. I remember watching this movie and they were like, if you give them the last little bite of your food, then they really love you. You're not giving them the last bite of your food, because it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. So you're not getting the last piece of cake. You're not getting the last bite of my burger. That's not happening because I'm not feeling you like that. But when you in love, you sit with them and you comfort them, and this is just positivity. and you encourage them to, like I said, to open up. Love allows you to be unapologetically you. Even if you guys have a fight, you've been fighting and something happens to you, guess what? You're still going to call that person that you love because you want to share that good or bad news with them. You want to share the news with them because you love them. And you know that that's just the only person right now that I want to talk to is that person. I love them. I want to talk to them. This is the person I want to share this news with. But when there is an attachment, no, you fought with that person. I'm not calling them. No, I'm not talking to them because there's not real love there. There was just an attachment. If you feel that if you don't obey their desires or whatever it is that they are asking you to do or whatever it is that you're doing that keeps them around, that they're going to walk away, then you want to reevaluate your position. You want to reevaluate your position. There's a difference between love and attachment. You can't have a future with an attachment, but you can have a future with somebody that you love. We're going to be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the difference between love and attachment. When you're in an unhealthy attachment, even if you don't see a future with that person, you don't want them to be with anybody else because you're mine. You're selfish. You have a sense of possession. You're mine. So as long as they're giving you whatever it is that you need, you're not going to allow them to move on, to find love or to be with anybody else because I want you to be with me. And you're not comfortable letting them have a life without you. So you resort to manipulation because you don't want to be lonely. You start trying to do little things to keep them around or keep them busy with you because your fear of being lonely. You know what? When you're in love, even when they don't want to be with you, you still want to see them happy. So you're like, of course it hurts. Oh my gosh, it hurts me that you're not with me because I thought we'd be forever. But at the same time, I love you enough that I will let you go and I will let you be happy. But like I said, when you are in attachment, oh no. You're staying right here and you're going to do what it is that I want you to do. I know that, everybody has flaws and you got to equally work on your flaws. But when that person, when you're in an attachment and they point out your flaws, you get dragging, fire breathing mad. Because you're not in love. Because if you were in love, it would encourage you to want to work on, the issues, want to work on yourself so that you could have a healthier relationship, so that you could bond and continue to build together. But when you're in that attachment, oh no, you can't tell me about you when, that finger starts pointing back and saying, let me tell you about yourself. So you're not willing to listen. You're not willing to compromise. You're just defensive because now they're talking about you. There's no love to motivate that change. And spending time with them becomes routine. So now you're spending time together because this is what we always do on Tuesday. It's like the absence makes your day dull, even though you don't see a future with them. So you're just like, man, I just, do I see myself with them 5-10 years? I barely see myself with them 2 months from now. But at the same time, there's nobody else here, so let me just hang out with them. That's an attachment. That's not love. They could even be saying, I love you. And you could be saying, I love you back. But it's not true love. It's an attachment. Have you ever been with a person that always reminds you of everything they've done for you? Like they never let you forget the sacrifices that they made for you? They're constantly bringing up things that, oh, I helped you when you did this, or I did this for you. That's not love. Because a person that loves you don't mind doing things for you. And they're not going to throw it up in your face, and they're not going to remind you of what they've done for you. They're not taking score. They just doing it out of love. And a person that's doing it with an attachment, you can best believe it's gonna come up. They're making a list. They're checking it. I'm telling you, they're making a list. Okay, put gas in a car. You know, I'm just telling you, just really, they're making a note of everything that they're doing for you, everything they're doing or they have done for you. They're not doing sacrifices, making sacrifices for you because they are not in love. It's an attachment. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the difference between love and attachment. Now, also, if a person is severely attached or possessive, then they're going to rush you into feeling, into a relationship. It's kind of like, the clock is ticking. I don't know, one weekend you guys have been talking and now they're all like, I love you. I'm really into you. It's because they're trying to get you stuck in an attachment too. They don't want to be in the attachment by themselves. So they're trying to pull you on in too. So the next thing you know, you're just kind of like, okay, really it's you. They're moving fast. They're moving fast, almost like a love bombing. We talked about that. But don't allow them to manipulate you into a situationship, because I promise you, it's not a real relationship. It's a situationship. The situationship is whatever it is that they need you for, whether it's whatever it is that they need you for. They're trying to get you on board into this situationship so that they can continue to use you, continue to manipulate you, continue to take advantage of you. They don't love you. They are attached to you. And it's an unhealthy attachment. So you're going to have to detach yourself. If you've gotten yourself into a situationship where you're attached, you can detach yourself. And I know that I understand that, you have this feeling of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do without them? You're going to survive. You're going to find true love. You're going to thrive. But you can't find true love if you're attached to the wrong person. You can't. If you're in a relationship that's toxic, you can't meet that other person no. Don't bring anybody else into this toxic situationship. So yeah, you definitely want to get out of that attachment because it's not healthy. It is not someone else's obligation to make you happy. It's not. We'll be right back with more Invisible Woman right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to tonight's episode of The Invisible Woman. We are talking about if it isn't love, the differences between love and attachment. And love accepts you for who you are, while attachment, they fall in love with the idea of you, but then they want to try and change you. When you have love, love stands strong against tough times, while attachment relationships never stand the test of time. And when you have love, you always find the middle ground. You compromise. When you have love, you do things unconditionally. You do things without expectations. But when you have attachment, there's always hidden and selfish motives. In love, you feel secure and you feel comfort when you're with them. But when you're in attachment, baby, that fire died out so fast because guess what? It wasn't even love. It was just a hot minute of attachment. So when you have love, you prioritize and you choose them over and over again without questions. I always choose you. I've heard people say that they've been married for like 25 years and they'd be like, if I could do it all over again, I would still choose you. That's that love. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in, for the people that subscribed to my channel, the YouTube channel, The Invisible Woman Talk Show, for the people that checked out my website. It's jwinvisiblewoman.com. If you want to send an email, it is formerinvisiblewoman@yahoo.com. So don't forget to send out your emails to submit your Visible Woman of the Week. Now, like I say, this show is your show, The Invisible Woman Talk Show. Thank you again. God bless and good night.